if you ever just woke up and said, how did I get here? But be so thankful that you're here, because you know it's where you're meant to be. Because in the last 10 years, I have moved 5 times. I have been divorced. I had 3 different jobs. I had brain surgery. I survived menopause, and I surrendered my child to drug addiction. God moved mountains, God slayed giants, and God gives me the courage to sit here and tell my story as it is. And I couldn't be more blessed. My name is Amy Bletner. I'm a lead fraud analyst in the Financial Investigations and Provider Review Department. I've been at Highmark for 3.5 years. It's no accident that I came to Highmark. I actually facilitated it quite strategically. I have been an investigator my whole life, and I have a passion for prescription and pharmacy fraud. So I saw an article in the newspaper. It featured Kurt Speer, and he was talking about Highmark's war on opioids. And so I came to Highmark and said, you need me. And so they brought me on board, and today I'm happy to report we are working together as an enterprise to fight the opioid epidemic. And we work with law enforcement, look for red flags for prescribers that may be overprescribing, and we work in-house to refer members that might need coordination of care or steering towards doctors that are in our network. I love my job here at Highmark. I love working on this Viper RX pharmacy team. I love that it's my passion, and so I'm finding that people are coming along. Passion is contagious. For the last 25 years, I've been an investigator in the banking industry, insurance, medical fraud, and cyber fraud. One of my casework actually became the plot of a movie. It was called The Inspectors 2, and it featured John Silverman and Louis Gossett Jr. It was back in the late 90s. And it became a Showtime movie, and it was actually built around a case that I had worked with the postal inspectors and the Financial Crimes Task Force here in Pittsburgh about an identity theft case where pre-approved credit card applications were stolen through the mail, and there were numerous counterfeit credit cards. And so at one point my spreadsheet was on their computer monitors. Got to go to the premiere of the movie, and so that was kind of neat.
Could be Jimmy Hoffa we got in there. This guy could be anybody at all.
I just started a new job. I get brain tumors. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And how I found that was I was getting a facial. And she thought I looked a little puffy. I said, obviously there's something, so I had an MRI, and I was in surgery in 2 weeks, and I had my skull removed, and I had my eye socket reconstructed, and I had these tumors removed, and it was a true miracle. I guess I could say that my whole family is a family of overcomers. My brother, namely, he was born with spina bifida. He didn't let that hold him back. He is a 6 or 7 time national state bodybuilding champion. He enters CrossFit competitions with his wheelchair strapped to his back. He's an amazing guy. But I also am the mom of a son who battled heroin addiction that did start from prescribed opioids. And so I went through 5 years at least of insanity, of living with it in my family, trying to keep it secret, trying to fix it, trying to control it, trying to save my son from dying. And I realized that I was part of the problem. You know, I'd pay off his credit cards so he wouldn't be stressed out when he got out of rehab of, looking at the bills. Of course, I gave him money all the time. I provided him cars, and I let him stay in my house, even though I know, he was selling my things. Didn't come to his rock bottom because of me, but because I got out of the way. And he did. He found himself arrested and facing felony charges. Finally, at the mercy of a judge in Florida who gave him the opportunity to go to a 10-month Christian rehab, he found himself on a better path. So until addiction was personal for me, I didn't understand it the way that it needs to be understood. And that is that addiction does not discriminate. None of us are immune to becoming addicted. And I can see it now from a family's perspective. I see it now from the person battling addiction, that the stigma and shame that's put on people is what's keeping us sick. And so that's the next extension of what I do and where my passion comes from, is shattering the stigma, helping families and parents that don't know what to do once they're in the thick of it, and really helping our loved ones survive. He is clean and sober 2.5 years now. I have a great relationship with him now. I have 2 grown, wonderful sons, and I'm really enjoying seeing the 2 of them have a relationship as well. So while my story is not extraordinary, what's extraordinary is the way that God has opened doors and moved mountains and slayed giants and is using me in an amazing way to encourage people. And Highmark has given me that platform to be able to go out to schools and talk to parents and tell my story. As raw as it is, I just tell my stories so that families who know addiction and families who don't know addiction can learn that the stigma is keeping people sick, and for those parents that did the same enabling behavior as me, that there is hope.